strong. At the same time, with G2 now being on the A side, Rhyme is typically a B side pick. You typically only see it come out as a final selection because otherwise it's just way too risky.
Yeah, I feel like we had a real treat getting to see a full melee game like that. It doesn't happen very often. I'm a little bit jealous of Humanist getting to cast that because that was an action-packed game. But yeah, so Blackfeather going to be the first ban coming out for G2, and that's going to be taken away from Palmatora, so he's not going to be able to get that one anymore.
Yeah, that's a smart ban by G2 there. Last time they banned Baptiste, actually, and now Fnatic will probably ban Grace here because leaving Grace open is pretty risky. They're actually banned Baptiste, which G2 hasn't played, so now G2 is going to take Grace, and now Fnatic then needs to respond probably with a Vox pick because Vox is mobile and can jump around Grace, and he's really good against a Grace composition. So if they pick Vox here, G2 definitely needs to ban Lyra, and then Fnatic needs to ban Baron because Baron Grace is a very strong combination. So let's see what Fnatic decides, if they're going to go ahead and pick the Lyra off, or are they going to secure the Vox. If they don't secure Vox, G2 is going to take it.
Yeah, you say Baron Grace is a very strong combination. Baron anything is a very strong combination.
Wait, Baron anything, Grace anything, like, so you put them together and it just becomes unstoppable.
Yeah.
So hopefully that won't be allowed to come through. It's going to be an Arden for Fnatic,
Okay.
so they're just going to say, we don't want a healer on our team apparently, as they do ban away the Baron.
No fear, just wanting to get that skirmish on the go once again. Arden great in those kind of melee compositions, great at protecting his carries as well, which is good into the likes of Grace. Obviously, Grace wants to dive in, wants to get that CC down. Arden, very good at protecting his teammates. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Baron, obviously the ban from Fnatic. They do not want to let that go over to G2.
And now G2, because of the Arden pickup, they don't have to ban the Lyra here either. They can just let the Lyra go through the draft, so they can now ban away some other power pick that they know Fnatic's going to want. There's a lot of options. You can ban away the Idris, ban away the Vox would be very smart, just so that it doesn't come out against this Grace. They're putting a lot of thought into this ban, though.
Yeah, I think Vox would make the most sense here. You don't have to worry about Lyra anymore because Arden's picked. They're like, go ahead and go for the Samuel here instead of the Vox. So this allows Fnatic to then pick up Vox because honestly, melee would be a little risky into Grace if the Grace is played properly. So Fnatic most likely will pick the Vox here, but they may just take Idris off the board and play Idris with Arden, which is actually a very strong combo if they feel confident enough to play an Idris into a Grace composition here. But that means Vox will be open against Idris if they do decide this route.
And just for an idea of, we're seeing Vox's overall win rate there. It's not the greatest, but against Grace, Grace in particular in Europe has, coming into this week, had 7 losses. 5 of those losses were against a Vox. And that's one of the only common denominators in those losses was the Vox pickup. So it's a really strong pick into it, but they're going to go ahead and grab the Idris. While this isn't a counter to the Grace, it is another pick that is very strong with the Grace. So it feels like it's more just Fnatic taking that away from G2.
Yeah, G2 can now pick Vox and Ryan, but if they pick Ryan, Fnatic can now pick Sky, for example. Palmatora does play Sky. He's known to play Sky last season. So if they do Rhyme, then Sky can counter that. So it's very risky to pick Rhyme on A side. You want to pick Rhyme on B side. Yeah. So if anything, what's a more safe pick for them, since Samuel and Blackfeather are banned, is they could go for potentially Koshka if they do want to play Koshka, so that they can out-damage the Idris if he decides to dive onto the Vox.
Scarf is open as well. We've seen a lot of Scarf recently. Also, you get to take that away from Palmatora at that stage, because we know that Palmatora loves a bit of Scarf.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options, although Dark Potato is one of the few junglers that doesn't really play a lot of the Crystal Power junglers.
Ooh, Alpha! I haven't seen Alpha come on a long time.
I believe Alpha has a 0% win rate in the Vainglory 8 so far this season. Is that right?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, but Fnatic's gonna pick Sky here. They can do Sky or Rhyme, but Sky makes a lot of sense here. And woo, man, that's very risky because Sky actually counters Grace too. Because she's so mobile, she can slow, and Grace cannot, even though Grace is tanky, once the Holy Shield is down, Sky's 4 barrage is gonna just wreck her.
It's going to Brecca. We'll see if he's going to be able to bring that one out through this one. 0% win rate, 2.6% pick rate so far for Alpha.
Yeah,
we'll see if G2 can kind of flip that statistic, whether they can actually get a win on the board. What are we thinking about the compositions then? Because from the from that conversation, it feels like you guys are leaning towards Fnatic already.
I think this one's actually going to be very close. I think they both have a lot of strengths. The Sky is very good into Grace, but depending on the timing, it's all going to be about timing when you use those Holy Shields, when you use the Benediction for the Grace, and when you use the Divine Intervention, because if you use that as soon as a forward barrage starts, it's going to block up a ton of that damage. But if you use it too early, forward barrage comes out after, the forward barrage is going to melt through. The big thing to me is going to be keeping an eye on this Alpha, though.
Okay, so the Alpha definitely going to be a standout denominator in this game. What are your thoughts, Suijay?
Yeah, Grace Alpha is very strong early game, so if G2 needs to win early and mid, if they let Fnatic get to late game, it's Fnatic's game to win, because Sky gets online with 2 or 3 items, and she counters their composition pretty hard.
Okay, so once again, the onus is on G2 to push in the early game, and Fnatic, we mentioned that their playstyle is to be that passive team that wants to just farm it out until the late game and then come online. That composition plays into that pretty nicely. I do just want to talk a little bit more before we jump on into the game. We're just waiting for one of the players, I believe. Oh, actually, I've just been told that the game is in fact ready. So forget what I just said. It is time to head on into the third game of this quarterfinal. Let us know who you're supporting going on into this one. G2 versus Fnatic. Hashtag Vainglory8 is how you can let us know on Twitter who you're going to be supporting. But it's time to jump onto the fall for the third and final time in this series.
What a series we have had here. G2 Esports versus Fnatic. And both teams showing us their real power. We're in game 3 here, Xingyi, and some fun drafts on both sides.
Some very fun drafts. And, we were saying before the game started, the analysts said themselves, this Alpha is to be a major key player in this game. She may have a poor win rate, 0% win rate so far in the Vainglory 8. But I think combined with that Grace, it's going to be very devastating. So incredibly sticky, and this may be what they need to pin down that Idris.
Yeah, it feels like it could be very hit or miss. I mean, they were talking about how Sky can do quite well into Grace, and typically the Alpha matchup is very skill-based, but I can imagine that Alpha on the front line, getting a Divine Intervention from Keanu, where that Alpha could do a lot of work. Currently, Palmatoro is going to connect onto Keanu, cancels off that forward barrage. He wants to get his mid, wants to get his experience and start moving forward.
Yes, and looks like there's not going to be any more contest for that. So right now, I feel like level 2 Alpha, level 1 Grace. I'm not sure this is going to be a great matchup going into that Sky, and I really do think that we should just be seeing a bit more passive play coming out from G2 anyway, before they start picking up those fights. It doesn't look like we've gone for those minion candies early on, which they have been favoring in the past few games.
Yeah, it's interesting that they choose not to go for it here. Maybe feeling like they just have a little more potential to control the lane.
Yeah, I definitely feel. There's just gonna be. Looking at Hundor and Techno JJ, I feel like the past 2 games has really been about them. Like, in my opinion, I feel like people can agree to disagree, but I think in terms of skill, it's just been so exciting watching these 2 laners just face up against each other. Because like their mechanics, they're both on heroes. I think they do extremely well on the Vox and the Idris, and like every single team fight I've seen them playing in the last few games, it's just amazing. I feel like that's the only word I can use to describe it.
Just amazing. Just fangirling over the laners.
I am. I feel like they're so mechanical. The outplays, just so good. So good. I mean, everyone else has been playing great, but the laners for me, it's for the series, for me, it's about the laners.
For me, for you, for this series, it's going to be all about the junglers. I'm looking at Palmatoro, Dark Potato playing games, and look at that forward barrage. Oh, Sky is fun to play. Benediction comes in there from Keanu as he's able to steal the Elder Treant away, making the plays cheeky, and I like it.
Yeah, that is Keanu. He's good at the steals, but maybe not as good as Nettoilette. I mean, Nettoilette's pretty on point there with the steals as well. You're saying about the junglers, we're going to see if this Alpha is going to be hit or miss or not, if she's going to be able to do as much as we like. Certainly, I think, especially that Sky and the Idris, they're very highly mobile heroes. It's always been an issue trying to pin them down, especially if you've got that Arden as well, who's able to use his gauntlet and just peel for his teammates. This could be a very tricky situation, but that does depend. That only really makes an impact once he's level 6.
I think this game, actually, I would have liked to see Keanu pick up a Protector contract. I feel like it could have done pretty well for the Vox, who's trading out harass damage in lane with the ability to sustain himself up, and also the Alpha, who's trying to like get in and around the edges of these fights. And if you can just find yourself with that slight damage output advantage, where you've sustained a little bit more. We'll hold that thought. Benediction into the Prime Directive, and Techno just gets a Vanguard and gets himself right out of there. He really doesn't take too much damage.
He's not able to disrupt the G2. I think they've been rotating up to the lane fairly regularly as a 3-man team, trying to get some kills, but they're not succeeding so far. And that is because Net Toilette, he is just babysitting Sentinel, using that Vanguard just to help him escape. And Sky, this leaves Sky in a very comfortable position. She's able to solo jungle. She's getting the XP for it. She's about to reach level 5, a little bit faster than Dark Potato. Actually, they may be reaching at the same time. And she's just very safe. There's not much happening in the jungle so far. It's just all about just kind of getting that pressure in on the lane.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming out. And, you know, as we look at players hitting their power spikes, like Palmatoro, his damage output is insane right now. Like, if you actually try to compare it to what Dark Potato can put out in a fight here, as time goes on, that will start to even out, and the fact that Dark Potato is going to have essentially 2 lives is going to help him a lot. But at this point, you got to be careful. Well, as I say that, I like literally just curse people. The moment I talk about them, it goes the opposite way.
The caster's curse. It's an unfortunate but real thing that happens. I know, part of me wonders whether or not G2 keeps forcing the fights in the lane so that when Palmasaur is forced to rotate up, the minions body block a lot of the damage coming out from the forward barrage, because I certainly feel like that's happening a lot every time he's coming up to the lane. And if it is, it's really smart coming out from G2.
We have fountains available for both teams as G2 or as 3 in the lane. Putting a lot of pressure out. Tetno's just like, dude, I'm just trying to last hit here. Don't mind me. A lot of damage coming out, though. He's doing okay. Very good job just sustaining himself with that Book of Eulogy.
Yeah, there's a lot of sustain coming out from both Hundor and Techno JJ. But Hundor, he's picked up that poison, the Shiv already. I think Techno JJ maybe has enough gold to rotate down to and get his Sora Blade. He's not rotated down yet, still in the lane. Either way, I think there's a good opportunity for both of the teams. They're both beginning to reach their spikes. They're both scaling up very well into the game now. And Palmasaur, especially with that Frostburn, is going to make it very difficult for Dark Potato and Kiana to try and stick onto her. Or
Do you like
Techno.
that Frostburn?
I feel like for this game, it can certainly do a lot because you've got this double slow kind of coming out. Even potentially even the triple slow if you look at the resonance coming out from the blocks as well. There's a lot of gap closing abilities.
Oh, Palmatoro trying to make the plays is actually pretty cute. Yes, he threw that Death from Above down with a target lock onto a lane minion there. Not going to connect means he will rotate back in the jungle, but you can tell Palma's definitely feeling very comfortable in this guy. Historically, you know, our analyst mentioned it, this is like one of his top picks if you go back looking at even like his Team Secret days. Like, he played that Skye almost better than anybody, so it's pretty exciting to see him, you know, starting to dance around on this hero.
Yes, it is. I don't know. We were having a little bit of a discussion about this before the game actually began about the Skye, and I personally feel like Skye, maybe not.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was saying, personally for me, Skye has not been a major hero in this meta for me, and I feel like, I know, but I feel like Palmator can make her work, but I just feel like every time I've seen Skye in the Vainglory, she just doesn't have that wow factor for me. I feel like in terms of compared to other heroes, maybe damage output, kind of playstyle, it's not for me this meta.
Well, I think it's purely a compositional matchup. She does so well into heroes that have a very linear type of play. You know, heroes that are going to run straight at you, that move in predictable patterns. So we'll see. I think this game she should do pretty good, especially against the Alpha. Like, if Alpha's rebooting or anything like that, it's like the easiest Death from Above forward barrage combo of your life. Very easy to clean up. Keanu's going to be moving straight at targets when he jumps in. We'll see if he can take advantage of that. I think Hundor is going to be like the real problem for Palmatoro, the one that's going to be the hardest for him to find damage on in these fights.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a kind of situation there left for Techno JJ versus Hundor. Like, Techno JJ will have probably one of the easier jobs to try and stick onto Hundor, thanks to his Shimmer Strike there. Oh, actually, looks like we're getting some action here.
Yeah, that Prime Directive and a bit bold coming out there. A lot of damage onto Fnatic. They're holding the Fountain. Dark Potato starting to poke and play games. Hundor actually a respectable amount of damage coming out of him as well. Palmatoro from max range with the forward barrage just kind of kissing G2 onto the edge there. He'll go back to take his backs, get a little healing and some extra gold in his pocket. Tetno and Net, gotta be careful. It's the Benediction coming through. That'll be a little Shroud step and some Chakram love from Tetno back onto Keanu. As nobody able to find any kills on the board yet. This
is what happened in the last game. I mean, okay, so in the last game, actually, I feel like Fnatic picked up some Actually, yeah, it was, in the last game, it was very, very quiet. They were really trying to pick up the kills, but they were just struggling to make the moves. And I feel like in this one, it's kind of similar circumstances here. Dark Potato and Keanu, they're not going to be the easiest heroes to take down. And then Attila, he's doing such a good job of vanguarding his teammates away to safety that I'm not expecting. I'm more expecting to like get to the 15-minute game. This is a very cerebral game between these two teams right now. And it's certainly playing out, so you can tell just the way they're moving around the map. Extremely cautious. I feel like there's not many flaws in their rotation so far.
Yeah, and they're kind of... Oh, Keanu, you
Keanu.
did a lot of damage for her. Death from above is perfect. Techno jumps in. The fountain comes out. I feel like they could have got that kill. But they're playing reserve just a touch, and it's hard to blame them for that. They have fountain advantage. They have the gauntlet. They have everything they need. The only thing going against them is the fact that Dark Potato just showed up. Look at that chakra cutting through. G2 at this point. Divine Intervention heals up the Potato. Keanu's going to go ahead and pour it out of here. Hundor, Forward Barrage connecting. He's going to just Sonic Zoom. Try and do his best to be elusive through these fights. 9 minutes in, no kills. And it does feel very reminiscent of our previous game that didn't have much action, but could just blow wide open once a fight kicks off. Prime Directive's not going to connect. Goldminer is low. Fnatic out to the east side. G2 to the southwest. Just trying to control vision through here. Currently, the Fnatic are going to give up on the Goldminer.
They're going to give on the gold mine. Keanu, he's 8 seconds away from getting that fountain again, so we are going to be seeing Fnatic losing that fountain advantage as well. Techno maybe slightly out of position. He's going to be able to get back in time. But that Divine Intervention that with the combined with the fountain, it's going to be so difficult for Fnatic, and I just want to see them just getting a little bit more sustained in terms of their damage items. Oh, the gauntlet!
Gauntlet right down. Net Willette, very nice job. Forward Barrage coming through. Oh, Termination Protocol popped off. The Potato getting roasted. Ready for eating, ready for dinner time. Keanu Nakoa is going to absorb that Forward Barrage. Hundor was the one with target lock. Palm and Toro feeling himself in these fights, dancing around, and now Fnatic's turn to apply some pressure down onto this turret. Just throwing that Forward Barrage from range. Techno jumps forward. Shroud Step, Shimmer Strike jumps off the top, but the Atlas Pauldron was applied to him. Hundor, Sonic Zoom, gonna dodge out. That Death from Above comes through as well. Fnatic taking a swing at some kills, missing. Maybe missing an opportunity to take that turret down as well.
Yeah, I feel like so. I feel like they're trying to pick up the kills that they kind of missed the turret there. It is left at very low health, but they weren't really able to get any major objectives off the back of that. The gold mine is still full, as it has been for the past few minutes. They weren't able to get the turrets either. But picking up the first kill of the game, though, that is very important. And like you said, Sky into Alpha. It's not the best matchup. We saw what happened when the Death from Above came down, as well as that Forward Barrage. Dark Potato only has that light shield, so those crystal powers is gonna be just doing a lot.
That's just what happens.
Yeah, that's just...
you have to be able to be like fighting in a very an area where it's very easy to stick on this guy. Like you want to get the jump, and then she can't retreat like under a turret very easily like she did, because the moment you turn around, you left yourself nowhere to go. If the gauntlet comes down, if Death from Above comes down, and you're just caught, well, these all the damage is just gonna pile up on top of you. You got to leave yourself a way out.
You definitely do, and I feel like Fnatic, they're going to be making this push for this turret now.
Jump in, Keanu onto Techno. The Benediction is going to be on cooldown for a second here. He still has his ultimate. Chose not to throw the Atlas or the Holy Novas. His team wasn't quite ready to follow up. But you see Fnatic trying to get damage out onto this turret. This is going to be a fight. The fight's going to happen here. There's your Benediction. There's your Atlas Pauldron applied. And a Vanguard back right into the gauntlet. A stun on top of Dark Potato. Who is Net Willette? What a player. Palmator with the Forward Barrage. Target lock is on to Hundor. Still target locked. It'll finally drop off. We have Fountain available for both teams still. They're trying to be as efficient as possible. Hundor, a lot of Forward Barrage. Sonic zooms to get himself out of there. Dark Potato jumps forward with the Core Charge. Chakram's coming out. They're just playing games. Well, quite literally playing games.
Yes,
playing games with each other, toying with each other's minds. It's fun. Divine Intervention comes out on Hundor. It's going to be a 40-second cooldown on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's frustrating for me watching Palmator right now, because all those minions are just body block, and I just really want them to be taking the fight down to the jungle, which is where I feel Palmator would do so much better with the sewer strikes and the forward barrages. Because right now, they're just G2 are able to just dodge a lot of the damage that he's throwing at them by using the minions.
Yeah, that's definitely something you have to keep in mind as a Sky player. We'll see, though, if they can find the positioning that they actually need. I don't think also that Palma really wanted to force things, but he's definitely getting to the point as he goes to complete his next item, probably his Eve of Harvest, where that Sky really comes online.
Yeah, definitely. And he's level 12 as well. He's got a bit of level advantage there compared to Dark Potato, who's about to hit it in the next minute or so. But Eve, yes, I think that's going to be exactly what he needs, given that extra sustain in those team fights. But right now, I think since that last kill, we're just seeing them just really kind of trading blows with each other.
Trading back and forth. Only one kill on the board. It's 14 minutes into this game. Net worth pretty even overall. Both of these teams really want to take this series. They really want to move into day 2. And you can tell based off their playstyle. Sonic Zoom dodged out Forward Barrage coming through from Palmator from max range. Getting a couple Broken Myth stacks. And Net Toilette has his Gauntlet. You can see based on his positioning, he was kind of thinking about throwing it there. But Tetno would much rather push this lane down. And I think it's a smart choice. Chakram gonna come through. Keanu eating a lot of Forward Barrage, a couple Broken Myth stacks. Once again, Keanu jumps in with a Benediction, holds the rest of his abilities. Death from Above is gonna go ahead and zone G2 from moving back. Dark Potato and gets his attacks off onto Net, but there's no real vulnerabilities coming through from the positioning of Fnatic. They're not leaving any openings.
This is what I was saying before. It's such a cerebral game. They are really playing so carefully. I mean, this is a 1-1 situation. There's so much hinging on them getting to the next day. And Palmatora, he's just playing so well right now, just really just doing a lot of damage there to G2, forcing them back consistently. And Fnatic, they're not really losing much at all. I feel like the moment that G2 choose that moment to pick up some aggression, I think that's just going to tell. That's going to be determining who's going to be getting the crack and who's going to be getting the first turrets off the game, actually.
I do feel like Dark Potato is ready to fight though. Like now that he's got his Broken Myth complete, like his boots are off cooldown, everything's ready to go. So they're waiting. This is a team-wide thing. They're waiting on one more item to be completed. I don't know what it's gonna be. Breaking Point. There you go. Breaking Point completed for Hundor. So now this could be what they were actually waiting on. They maybe wait for infusions before they actually get into the fight. Fresh infusion coming out of Tetno JJ, sensing that potentially we might have a fight on our hands here any minute. Any minute. No.
I definitely. Double infusions on the side of Fnatic. None there for G2. This could be they've been poking away at that turret for a very long time. And I would really like to see it going down soon. I mean, there's practically no goal difference between the two teams right now. 200, 300? Negligible.
Negligible. Well, this is a game in a game where teams do not find kills and fail to push turrets.
They get damage occasionally.
There can be only one heal coming from Keanu Nakoa. Net Toilette's in with the blood for blood. And they're out of there. G2, they're back to their jungle. Fnatic, have an opportunity. This is your opportunity. Take it. Seize your moment. Seize your turret.
Do not carpe diem. We back away. Again.
You jump in, Benediction on to Tetno. Tetno, hey. Forward Barrage connecting. Frostburn doing work. Okay, Palma, besides everything except for his boots being ready to go, this is everything a Sky wants. Okay, everything the Sky wants and needs right now. Frostburn, your Eve, Broken Myth, you're infused, you are ready to go. They are ready to go. Fnatic is going to pull the trigger here any second. Net Toilette probably throws this gauntlet in the next 30 seconds. Wait for it. Who's it going to be? Unless G2 just back out of the lane. Then
they are backing out the lane. They heard you, and they're backing out the lane.
I'm done.
And the wave of minions is too far away for them to push that turret down.
Alright, I'm gonna go make some toast, and then I'll be right back. You can cast this for now. There we go! That's all I had to say! The fight's starting!
No, it's not.
And it's over. Gauntlet's down. Keanu gets stunned up. There's nowhere to go. Surrey strike over the top. Forward Barrage is there. Dark Potato, he's got the Termination Protocol. The wait for it's going to come through. A Prime Directive in. Lot of bird damage coming out. They blew him up. Huge damage. And G2 find themselves on the board. That's the key. I just decided to say, make a little toast. And they make the plays happen.
They did. They tapped it, and they've held onto the fountain. They held onto the fountain. They get the first turret. They get G2's first kill of the game actually onto Palmatoro. And is it really any wonder if you look at his items? He's probably the easiest one to take down. He's only got that light armor. If you throw everything you have at him, he's gonna go down. And he's kind of stepping back, looking at Dark Potato on his Termination Protocol. He did use it, and it did so much damage there. They were able to stick onto Palmator. Net Toilette wasn't able to Vanguard him out to safety in time. But the plays, they all happen in 10 very quick seconds.
The plays sure did happen. And what a strategy, right? To like lull your opponents into a false sense of security. To lull them, dare we say, to sleep. And then strike like a cobra. Just very impressive stuff.
Very impressive stuff, indeed. But despite taking the first heart and 1 kill, they are, you know, still 2k gold lead. It's 18 minutes. Looking at the map, still very close, very close game here. But Keanu Nakoa with that echo there, I loved seeing that echo on Grace. I think it just works so well. It's going to be, you know, you've got a double divine intervention there. You've got a fountain. You've got the termination protocol and the reboot. They are such a durable team. Fnatic are really going to be struggling to burst them down. Oh no, Palmator.
Have no fear. Palmatoro is here. Palmatoro with his forward barrage. He's chilling. He knows Net Toilette is there to keep him alive. With an ally like Net Toilette, how could you have fear? Fnatic move forward. They know they want to be on the front side of this fight this time. They want to control the tempo of this fight. Broken is stacking up. Dark Potato trying his best to avoid this. He has his Aegis. He has pretty good shielding coming out currently, but they're just looking for a target. Infusions will be timing out off this alpha. Let's see if this causes them to actually make a play. It's either going to be they're going to lose a turret or they're going to make a play soon. Keanu jumps in with a benediction. War treads forward. Doesn't catch Dark Potato, but Hundor thinks about going in. They're just... the positioning's really awkward on that. Keanu will heal up Dark Potato. Holding his Echo still is Fnatic. Just continue to throw Chakrams and forward barrage. This is just... They should rename. They should just rename to Chakrams and forward barrages.
I feel like I'm just seeing a replay of like the last 20 minutes again, just with this part.
This is like Groundhog Day, Vainglory version.
Just replayed over and over again. They're just really waiting for that right moment, but I feel like that right moment is just always here for them.
Dude, you should play every game like it's Worlds. And right now, these European teams showing us, you know, how to really put your best foot forward. How to have your best game ever.
Wow, this could be it. Look at the items coming out. Techno JJ, so we're seeing a lot of itemization being built against him on the side of G2. Metal Jack on Hundor, Pauldrons on Dark Potato, Pauldrons on Keanu there. And he just picked up a Bone Saw, so I think that's certainly going to be helping a lot against the insane amounts of armor that G2 has built up against him.
It definitely will be. It's curious, though, as this fight happens. I mean, because the way they itemize, like, if Hundor doesn't go down, and he gets some breaking point stacks, that is definitely G2's fight. But
oh yes,
you know, if Fnatic can get the damage down, dance around while keeping Hundor from finding his stacks, it definitely will go their way. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 1-1, 21 minutes into this game. Fnatic, G2 Esports, really showing us how to play cautiously here. Benediction in. Keanu, he's gonna war track forward. He's gonna look for the Holy Nova. Just, oh no, he's not gonna do it, Keanu! Oh, Keanu! Oh my god, when you want to make plays but your team is not ready, that is what just happened. And now G2 in a 2 vs 3 situation. They're gonna try their best here. Dark Potato eating a bit of damage there. It's gonna be a Sonic soon through the death from above. Dark Potato, get out, dude! Look at, he calculated that. He's like, I could use Termination Protocol, but I don't think I will have to. Reflex and move backwards. Dark Potato, what an alpha.
What an alpha, able to escape. But Keanu was not able to escape, and he wasn't able to use the Divine Intervention on himself either. The Fountain did come out, but they know that their Grace is one of the key players of that team. If they lose Grace there, you know, it leaves them in a very awkward position. Hundor, you know, they just had to back away. They gave up that turret there.
That was
and
so awkward.
Actually, the Kraken as well. So, I mean, looking at Fnatic with that Kraken, they're in a really good position to push with the Chakrams and with the 4 barrages as well. Like, this is a great opportunity for them.
They need, like, G2, they just need to go. When Keanu goes, go with him. Let that Grace lead you to the promised land of victory. You can do it, G2. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in Keanu, the Dark Potato, and Hundor will follow. Let's go. There you go. Oh, Dark Potato. That's going to be a Termination Protocol coming out. And ladies and gentlemen, I bet he's immediately regretting that decision. Gauntlets down. Hundor is dancing around through the fight. Techno was the one that took a lot of damage, but he's gonna get himself back out of here. Prime Directive connects. They move forward. What is this? Hundor, he's taking a lot of damage. He's to the back, but Dark Potato's still alive. He's still doing a pretty good job. Palmatoro's target locked on. Actually, no, he didn't have the target locked on. No, yeah, he does. The forward brush. He Surrey strikes over the top. Dark Potato still alive. He goes down. Dark Potato. They kept him alive for a pretty long time. Choke point turret's going to fall, and Fnatic just keep lumbering forward. Palmator with the forward barrage. Frostburn slowing them down. Broken Mist stacks galore. Let's see, do they hang around? Do they play with fear? Do they play with passion and aggression and all the things the chat wants them to be? Death from above connects onto Keanu just for a split second. They probably take this one turret and back on out of there.
That's exactly what they're doing. I think we are all going to question Dark Potato's decision there to use this termination protocol right in full view of Palmatoro and his death from above, which, you know, it wasn't enough to kill him, but it certainly put G2 in a very precarious position, and I think it had to force them to change their playstyle there. But Fnatic, they got 1, 2, 3 turrets off the back of that, but yet they only maintain a 300 gold lead.
300 gold.
You'd think it would be more. You really would think it would be more at this point. But
it's
I mean,
a little bit more, 300, but it's not much. At this point, this game is very close. This is all execution. I feel like they're not taking advantage of the Grace fully, or the Potato. Let's see if they can do so here. Now in a choke point area. Prime Directive is going to connect onto a couple Broken Mist stacks. Potato. They need Potato to get a couple Broken Mist stacks and be the front line for his team. That's what this composition is all about. Once Potato starts to take someone down to the point where they're threatened, Hundor can start the fight. You got to let Grace do work. Let Grace do work. Let Potato be a front line. Hundor's hungry. Prime Directive is not going to connect. That's not what you want. You're like, oh, I missed my ability. It's time to engage now. There's your Gauntlet. It's going to connect. Dark Potato's right into the mix. They got the Atlas Pauldron off onto the Alpha. Palmatoro into the top. There's your forward barrage connecting. Very good job. Very good damage. 9 Broken Mist stacks plus the infusion. They're moving forward. Everybody's infused. Everybody is using their ultimates and dancing around the fight, but nobody is dying.
Nobody is dying. Absolutely. I mean, 4 kills and it's almost 26 minutes, 25.5 minutes there on this game. And you were saying, I think you were saying right before that kind of last attempt there coming from G2 was that I feel that they're not using that Grace to the full effect. And I'm gonna agree with you there. I really doesn't. I feel like she's such a great captain to have on your team, and yeah, she's been using the Divine Interventions amazingly, using the Echo as well. It's been working really well. But in using her other abilities, such as that Holy Nova and the Benediction, I feel like we've not been seeing too much of that. I feel like
we've seen none of that, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, you've got this potential stun there, and one way of looking at it is that, well, Palmatoro and Techno JJ, they're both very mobile heroes, and that'd be hard to land on them. Oh no, here they go!
Are they gonna throw?
No.
No, I mean, it feels a little throwish, and Dark Potato, he's into the backside. Okay, he will get the heal. The Gauntlet comes down net! That's very uncharacteristic of you. Nice toilet. Hundor, fresh infusion. Keanu moves forward. There's your War Tread. G2, they're on the hunt. You don't want to get under that Crystal Sentry. Death from above. That would have been a very, very bad fight for G2. And they make the professional decision to back out of a situation that would have left them quite helpless.
Yeah, definitely. Then I think this has happened time and time again, is that they are just escaping. It's so close every single time and picking up those kills. But just now...
Jin, you may have muted your mic on purpose or not.
Maybe on purpose. I am having technical difficulties with my game at the moment.
Classic.
Yes,
Shinny.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm
Let's
back.
See. Can G2 take this crack it down? This is the pinnacle of aggression. This Fnatic move forward to contest here. Keanu on the front side gets that Holy Shield off. Keanu is constantly in position for his team, but his team is failing to follow up. Okay, Divine Intervention is going to come out. Potato's going to get healed up. Echo still being held by Keanu. What a crazy situation here. Hundor has his Journey Boots. This is going to be off cooldown every 12 seconds if he gets attacked. Dark Potato, got to be careful. Palmatoro's there with the forward barrage, and nothing happens.
Yeah, they don't want. The thing is, Fnatic don't want to chase too far into G2's jungle because they don't want to be fighting with the Crystal Sentry about. But looking at the teams, 200 gold between the two teams, items, infusions, they're all there. This is basically full build pack for all the teams now. And they're just...
Atlas Pauldron off onto
This is it.
Hundor. Dark Potato's in. Dark Potato starting to make the plays. He's melting down low. He's gonna have to get. He got the termination protocol off. Prime directive in. Oh, he's not on his key target. Techno takes a lot of damage. Can they melt Potato before he reboots? I don't think he can. But the Crystal Sentry's there and doing good work. They've stunned up Keanu on the edge. The fountain's going to come out. Keanu probably drops here. Yep. Shimmer strike forward. How about that? The attack slow has burned off of Techno. Techno trying to stand his ground with the chakra, moving back. The gauntlet. No, not the Gauntlet. Crucible keeping him alive just in the second. I can't believe it. Palmator with the Surge Strike over the top. Hundor still alive. And he's going to be just playing like he's hopefully got Sonic Zoom talents to get himself out of here. Fnatic, they're not even going to try to chase that guy down. They have bigger things on the menu.
I mean, they're going home.
Yeah, like going
They're
home.
going home. They're going home. So the
I'm
Kraken...
going home.
They're going home. Hundor can't really do too much at this point. I mean, Fnatic, they're going to be going for the Kraken. Can Hundor safely contest this? No, he cannot.
Can he safely contest this? No, he cannot.
But he can.
Can he contest this?
Yes.
The God Hundor can do whatever he puts his mind to. The Scout Trap's not going to hold me back. Can't hold Hundor down. Hundor's waiting right here. He's waiting with the wait for it. Boom! Wait for it to the backside. Atlas Pauldron Gauntlet down. Hundor doesn't care. Hundor Sonic zooms around. He will go down in the end. That's going to be the ace. Keanu respawns right at the end. Looks like Fnatic taking the win as G2 just collapse around themselves. Everything falling apart for G2 Esports.
I think the key point of my last sentence was safely contest there, and that didn't happen. So, I mean, Keanu, Nako, Dark Potato, I mean, this is probably the most durable sets of heroes alive, left alive on the map, but they also have the Kraken coming at them. There's one turret left.
It's go time.
They
Now
have
it's
to
time
engage.
to play the game, G2. G2, would you like to make it to day 2? It's time to actually go out there and fight. Time to get on the squishy target. Deathmark Love is going to whiff. Palmatoro is your boy. That's who you want to get onto. They're on to Techno JJ. Holy Nova going to catch 2. The Atlas Pauldron on to 3. G2 doing the best they can thus far. A couple broken misstacks for Dark Potato. It's, dude, you got it. You got to do more damage out with this Keanu. He's going to drop the heal, keeping him alive. And this is going to be Fnatic taking the win. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. We have Fnatic coming out as the victor, 6-1. What an amazing game.
It was absolutely an amazing game, and I have to say it was extremely cautious from both of the teams. I think we said that multiple times, but I do feel that the Grace lacked an impact, and I feel like Keanu just didn't seem as comfortable in the Grace as I've seen him on other heroes.